function, no assumptions. Feeling like Tyson with it. Look at how Tyson with it. Only for the night, I'm kidding. Only for life, yeah, only for life, yeah, only for life. Let's get it. Hit that shoulder, I know it coming over me. Backstroke overseas. I know what you need. Already on 10, all money come in. All feeling go out. This feeling don't drought. This party won't end. If I didn't ride blade on curve, would you still? If I'm in my mind at work, would you still? Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me than to. Keep it a whole 100. Don't got you, I got nothing.
Run for my money. There is nobody, no one that'll run me. So give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely. Living lovely. She's
I wanna be with you. Hey, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. Hey, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. I'm on the way. We ain't got no time to waste. Hop in your come on the way. Am I in the way? I don't want pressure, you none. I want your blessing today. Go by the way. Open the door by the way. Show you that I'm on the way. I'm on the way. I know connection is vague. Pick up the phone for me, babe. Damn it, we jamming. That attitude for your nanny. Curving your hip from your memory. Remember, Gardena, I took the studio camera. I know Top will be mad at me. I have to do it. I want your body and music. I bought the big one to prove it. Look what you made. Told you that I'm on the way. I'm like an exit away. Yeah. If I didn't ride blade on curve, would you still? If I'm in my mind at work, would you still? Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me than to. Keep it a whole 100. Don't got you, I got nothing.
run for my money. There is nobody, no one that'll run me. So give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely. Living lovely.
I wanna be with you. Hey, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. Hey, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you.
Just love me.
Young and fine and dark and handsome, the boy from South Detroit came singing. I can't keep my panties from dropping. He's so fly, fly. Moving so fast, don't hurt yourself. I can't keep up with all the lies you tell yourself. You kinda cute, but way too much to play yourself. I'm not the one, but we can still pretend this can't be my man. You say you feel different when you with me, tell me anything. Compliment my energy, it's different laying next to me. All I ask is don't make me pull up and get the dope, baby. No, I can't get no fucks. You know with all the rugged have you. Young and fine and dark and handsome, the boy west side of Compton came walking in. I can't keep my panties from dry.
this friend with benefits.
Benefit?
There are trucks, and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra. It's the truck.
Bro, no way, bro. I've been fucking muted this whole time, bro. Bro, I'm sorry, guys, bro. All right, well, let me just run it all back for y'all real quick, bro. The reason I've been gone, bro, I just been feeling like, damn, man, like, you feel me? I want to get y'all quality content, not just any bullshit. That's why I really been, you know. But as I realized, I just got to keep putting belt to the pavement. And also, we do got YouTube chat and we got TikTok chat and we got Twitch. This which is my main platform is what I'm on. Y'all need to go follow, support. But wherever y'all is, I support y'all there. You feel me? I respect y'all. Um, we do got to talk about the House of Dragon. We do got a story time too, but we got to talk about House of Dragon. Okay, we got to talk about the House of Dragon. We got to talk about Streamer University. We also have to talk about before the story time. We also got some reactions. So you feel me? We gonna throw something in there between that way. Okay, let me see. I'll let y'all. We just gonna go on. Boo, boo. Can y'all see me though? Why your neck the same color as your hair? Bitch, you got me in GTA. You feel me? As a joke, as a game. You know, as a joke, as a game. Don't disrespect me, bro. Real, like, yeah. Bro, watch your mouth, bro, when you talk to me, bro. Watch your mouth. She said, what? Ooh, that's sexy chocolate. Nothing miss sexy chocolate. I got a disrespectful human being in my shit, but like I was saying to all y'all, you feel me? Come to my Twitch, and that's what I'm really on. God damn, my freaking ear. We see though, so y'all can see me right here though. Let me see, but y'all gotta go to my Twitch, man, cause I'm finna talk about the House of Dragon. Which how do y'all even watch the House of Dragon up in here? Y'all let me know. Do y'all even know about game? Do y'all know about Game of Thrones and what? No. First off, Nasky, I don't want you here. I don't want you here because you disrespected me to the utmost, and I don't feel safe with you here. Okay? I don't feel like this is a safe space, and this is my chat, a safe space. What Nasky do? She disrespected me. Okay? I asked a question, bro. Well, maybe it's because the freaking shadow of my fucking shirt. I'll be like, bitch, don't ever like just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth in GTA to all my people, cause you don't get me restricted on here talking crazy. You scrambling, bro. Watch your mouth, bro. Don't disrespect me. Go follow my Twitch though, man, and stop being a real asshole. But listen, Okay, Twitch. We are finna talk about the House of Dragon. If y'all don't know about the House of Dragon, it's basically game. You know, it's a Game of Thrones spinoff. You know, it's a book. You know, I never read the books. I'm not much of a reader type bull, but I do want to get into the reading. But I have seen Game of Thrones, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I'm watching goddamn House of Dragon. So we gonna talk about it. Hold on, let's get into it. Y'all can't even hear. Hold
One
on,
of the things that I think we all enjoy about movies is that
So they're making us wait another week till the Battle of Tumbleton.
You can't keep
Y'all
getting
wanna go to
away
the Twitch?
with it.
All right, hold on. I gotta pay attention. Let me see. But look, listen, y'all. Y'all go. We don't. Well, listen. Now that's why I've gotta focus up and really listen to my people. Okay, so I'm gonna go back live during this fucking story time, bro. And nigga, I'm gonna talk to y'all bitch ass boys later. All right, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Boom. We in straight YouTube mode. Boom. All right, y'all. So we gonna talk about the new episode of House of Dragon. If y'all have not been watching, this is a spoiler episode. So, just a little spoiler warning. And also we have to talk about truly just this episode and what y'all feel like it was and what we feel like it was. And we're also gonna hear a different perspective while we engage in our own intellectual, you feel me, depose it. But listen, let's get into it. I ain't gonna hold y'all back any longer. We just gonna talk about it because me personally, bro, I don't understand what's going on, bro. Like I don't understand. I want to see more. I want to see more, and we gonna talk about it.
So they're making us wait another week till the Battle of Tumbleton.
You can't keep getting away with it!
We are currently in the Riverlands. Oscar
Yes,
Tully
we are.
and Roderick Dustin command some 40,000 men. They've been tasked to head to
And who the fuck? And let's talk about this, guys. Hold on. We really gotta
Tully
talk
and
about it.
Roderick
This young one, he went from he went from under the thumb, and now he's hard, and he feels good about himself, which I do like. But I just don't, and I don't understand throughout this whole show. I have not seen the reputation of these people be made. Like Damon, I haven't seen you get in the field. I haven't seen you really, I seen you do that little scene when you was home when you was fighting for Renera. You did the little 5 little kills, but I haven't seen you in war. Like I haven't seen you get active. I haven't seen nobody really get active except for Eamon, and Eamon gets active, but I want to see more too. I want to see more from everybody. And Renera, come on now, y'all, come on, chat, y'all tell me, do y'all feel like she is not using her full potential? She's not using her full potential. Like you got all these dragons, you got all of this, and you're still struggling. You're still freaking crying. These, and then the high tower girls, the old queens, they trying to escape. We gonna talk about
Dustin commands some 40,000 men.
it.
They've been
40,
tasked
but
to
he
head to
does have the
Tumbleton, the
people.
embattled market town currently under control of one Ormond Hightower.
He's crazy.
Notice how the last 2 episodes, Ormond has been stocking up on lumber, stating it's for the town's defenses. With the town stocking up on wood, all it would take is one dragon attack for Tumbleton to become this year's Burning Man. Either way, this is a masterful plan by Ormond. It will force Rhaenyra's army to attack without dragons, for fear that the town would go up in
Yep.
smoke. Or if they do use dragons, the city will burn so fast that hundreds, if not thousands, of civilians will die, turning
And that's why he's good too, because you put her in this predicament. And I don't even understand what his plan is, but he does want this um little bro to be king. So hey, we gonna see, bro. But he's crazy. Like he's a real psychopath, bro. Truly.
many of the nobles against the queen. There's just one problem stopping Roddy's Winterwolves and Oscar's Rivermen from reaching their destination. Kristen Cole and his emo band of guerrilla warriors. With the
I'm
high
so tired of him, guys. I'm sorry for the pauses. I know we got a long video, and I don't want to stretch it, but we gotta talk about it. He is so upset that she did not want to go from a queen to a freaking peasant, scraping up oranges and apples. Like, I respect it, like what he wanted to do, but I don't understand. And then he freaking, I don't understand him. His motives are just ever so fleeting, ever so often. Like, you were that mad 10 years, and we went through time jumps and everything. You're that mad, bro. He need therapy.
Our army under his command outnumbered almost 200 to 1, they've had to incorporate guerrilla tactics, doing everything they can, like burning various river crossings to slow the enemy. Oscar orders 100 of their fastest riders to the Stony Sept, a walled town in the southern Riverlands where they can procure a barge and new crossing. You can see this is a far ways away from their intended destination at Tumbleton, putting them a week behind schedule. Sir Duncan the Tall and Prince Aegon Targaryen actually visit the Stony Sept in the third Duncan Egg novella, The Mystery Knight. Among the group is Lord Peter Piper, a man known for his peck of pickled peppers. We actually saw
The way that they did these freaking people in this episode was ridiculous. The way that they did these people in this episode was ridiculous. Hold on, we gotta check one thing. Boom.
him in season 2 with some of the other Riverlords to complain to Daemon about the atrocities committed by the Blackwoods against the Brackens. The man has picked his last peck of pickled peppers as he'll get his throat slit by Kristen Cole doing his best Rambo. Meanwhile, at Harrenhal, many a ne'er-do-well have made their way to the castle's depths in the hopes of claiming Rhaenyra's reward. She'll give Harrenhal itself to the person who captures Aemon Targaryen. The last we saw him, he was on death's door after being stabbed by one of Simon's Strong's sons. Keeping guard, however, is Alice Rivers,
Alice Rivers. She is like I don't understand her either. Like, what is your lore? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And I did see that in this episode. If y'all did see, if you really pay attention, when she's outside of that castle, she's she's powerless. She's talking about, come on, let's go in my castle and then we can talk about it. No, bitch, we're gonna try to get you right now. But they didn't get her. But you could see that that's her little weakness right there, and I seen that. And
were
Loki, I want
first
somebody
Rhaenyra
to
as the
exploit that.
ungrateful queen. It was
The
Alice who
ungrateful
was
queen.
instrumental in securing Daemon's control over the Riverlands. In return, she wanted Harrenhal, but this was something Daemon wasn't willing to give up to a lowly commoner. But why does Alice want Harrenhal so badly?
Yeah.
Some say she's the bastard daughter of Lionel Strong, the former Master of Laws under King Viserys I. Not only is this place her home, but she could be tied to Harrenhal through blood. Harrenhal is also steeped in magic. The castle itself was built using felled weirwood trees melted by Aegon the Conqueror's dragon Balerion, and sits on the shores of the God's Eye, directly adjacent to the Isle of Faces, the most ancient and sacred magical site in Westeros. For a woman reputed to be a witch, Harrenhal is the ultimate fortress.
Why haven't we seen them? We haven't seen I want to see some of them come up. When they come out, it's a different ball game.
Talks about the laborers who built this place and died in chains in service of Harren the Cruel. Harren the Cruel, also known as Harren Hoare, once ruled over the Riverlands and Iron Islands. It took him and an army of thousands of captive chained men 40 years to complete Harrenhal's construction. When Aegon the Conqueror swept across Westeros, Harren refused to give up the castle, ultimately roasting to Balerion's dragonfire in the castle's tallest tower. And just a quick mention, if you want more of these videos, please consider liking and subscribing. I make these videos all by myself, and every interaction, comment, and time watched helps me get further in that algorithm. One of the first images we'll see at Harrenhal is the Black Goat, an animal commonly associated with the occult who has appeared all throughout seasons 2 and 3. It kind of foreshadows that Alice is nearby. She'll scare off this group of men almost as if she's controlling the bats around her.
Exactly. Like, what does that mean?
Whoa. What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys,
I'm Batman.
Aemond, much like Daemon in season 2, experiences prophetic nightmares, just like his uncle did in that very bed. In fact, it's this bed that Daemon
That season was, bro, I wanted them to fight in season 2 so bad. Like, it just wasn't no fighting, but I did like season 2.
dreamt of making love to his mother, Alyssa Targaryen. Knowing the feelings Aemond has for his own mother, Alice has the opportunity to do the craziest thing ever. Notice that Aemond clutches the cat's paw dagger. This is the Valyrian steel dagger he stole off Aegon at the Battle of Rook's Rest. It's also the dagger emblazoned with the prophecy of the Song of Ice and Fire that Viserys told Rhaenyra in Season 1. And who can forget it'll be the dagger Arya uses to defeat the Night King.
Best season ever!
Aemond dreamt that his brother Aegon's face was on fire, dragging him down into the dark. It reminds him of Helena's prophecy that Aemond will die. Aemond will curl.
She did say that. And I realized that, like, it's just so much mom freaking married the son, sister married the brother. Like, goodness gracious. That's why they so crazy and messed up, is because if they are doing this weirdness over and over and over, bro. They messed up.
Himself into Alice's arms like a child, whispering the word mother, suggesting Alice will lean into this Oedipus Rex complex to manipulate him further. For Alice, Aemond is the way she'll get Harrenhal. Grand Maester Orwell is doing what maesters do best, making Westeros' version of Plan B. Last episode, we learned Helena is pregnant. We aren't exactly sure of the timeline here, but this child is almost certainly Aegon's before he had his sausage burnt to a crisp. In the book, Helena is never pregnant during the Dance of Dragons. Instead, she had already given birth to a third child named Maelor, who would be about 2 or 3 years old during these events. Notice this servant watching Orwell as he makes his way to Helena's chambers. Spies can be found all over King's Landing, and I'm thinking this one belongs to Mysaria, the mistress of Whisperers. Later in the episode, we'll see this girl keeping tabs on Daemon and Commander of the Gold Cloaks, Sir Luther Largent. She reports to this currently unnamed former guard we saw in episode 302, who communicates directly with Ormond Hightower. I think this is Sir Perkin the Flea, a character loyal to the Greens who will go on to command a group of gutter knights from Fleabottom. This is all part of Ormond's plan to sow as much discord as possible to buy the...
If you read the book, you get the real behind the scenes of this. That's what we gotta do, God. Like, we can't keep playing around and not reading it. We gotta really read it. Facts. But my thing is, if I read it, is it gonna spoil it? Am I gonna be so mad that it's so much better than it's not the show? Because I see how y'all do it.
More time. You may have also noticed the Red Keep has brought in cats. Alan of Hull suggested them after all the rat catchers were murdered by the former king, as it were assassins posed as rat catchers who were responsible for the death of his son Jaehaerys during the events known as Blood and Cheese. In the book, it's actually Otto Hightower who suggests the cats. Orwell has brought with him Moon Tea, this special concoction used to abort pregnancies that we saw young Rhaenyra took in Season 1. Alicent used it herself to prevent unwanted pregnancy with Kristen Cole, but she also gave it to the maid Diana after she was raped by Aegon. Orwell discloses that this will be the end of his help to Alicent. He's under tremendous scrutiny considering his former alliance with the Greens. In fact, in the book, when Rhaenyra...
They should have killed him too. Killed everybody that was with her in GTA and just get off with it, leave it alone, leave it in the past. Everything's done, but they don't do it. They just continue, want to play games, leave them alive, do this, do that, do that. Kill, like, y'all gotta get rid of some of these people in this show.
Takes over, he's immediately brought to the Black Cells and is never given a place on the small council. Helena refuses to take the tea. This is her child and the only thing in her life she has any control over. But what makes this situation even more dire are the consequences if she has this child, especially if it's a boy. A boy would pose a threat to Rhaenyra's claim to the throne. Remember that at this time, the people believe Aegon is dead. That means next in line would be Aegon's eldest son. Since the title would skip Jaehaerys because she is female, it would fall upon this unborn male child. The child also is a threat to Daeron, who Ormond is trying to prop up as a new king. Not only that, but it could be used by Rhaenyra as a political pawn or simply killed outright once she learns of it. So in Alicent's eyes, getting rid of the child is a deliverance from disgrace and ruin, not only for Helena herself, but for the Hightower family. In lieu of Harrenhal, Rhaenyra has given Lady Sabitha Frey a seat on the small council, even though months earlier Jacaerys had promised her the castle in return for letting Cregan Stark's men and the Winter Wolves cross the strategic bridge known as the Twins. In the book, it was actually to sap the fray that Lord Roderick Dustin said the iconic line,
"We have come to die for the Dragon Queen."
It was also in the book that her husband, Lord Forrest Frey, was killed at the battle by the lakeshore. However, we don't know if this happened in the show. The Queen's Small Council is considerably larger than last episode, and so too are the problems facing the kingdom. Vhagar has been spotted in Wendish Town, the home of House Derry. The council doesn't know that Aemond is not riding with the she-dragon, and see this as a provocation considering House Derry is allied to Rhaenyra. Meanwhile, Torrhen Manderly, the new master of coin that Mysaria and
him, bro. He's so weird.
Are setting up to take the fall for the crown's lack of funds, catches
like he's a strange dude, and then they was over there just talking. And what is his motive? Like they're so conniving in this freaking show. It's like literally, it's like scary. It's like the stuff that people do, and will they go so far just to retain that power?
The fray up on all
and my thing is, all of these people don't have to do this. You understand? Like, if they would just get along, they talking about, okay, if I'm not king, then I don't want to be it. But you're still a lord. You still have a castle. They'll still have all these other things. You'll never be a peasant. You'll never live below. But it's the greed, man. It's the literal greed. And that's why I love this show, because it shows you that these people could all literally be House Targaryen with dragons and have fire and freaking just everything. But no, you gotta beef, you gotta be the top.
Drama. Adam and Baela have returned from their search for Vhagar, but have found nothing. The main point of contention here centers around what Rhaenyra should focus on. On the one hand, there's Vhagar. On the other, the rumblings of rebellion. Last episode, the Gold Cloaks showed little restraint while putting down a skirmish at the Dragon Gate. This was in their search for High Tower loyalists who spread Queen of the Bastards graffiti on the city's walls. To make matters worse, members of the City Watch are being murdered in the streets, not to mention they haven't been paid. For Daemon, this is a no-brainer. They must root out these insurgents before things get out of hand. You may have also clocked that Mysaria is in the minority when it comes to her views at the council. She's a champion for the small folk, while Lord Manderly dismisses the citizens of Flea Bottom as both undesirable and ungovernable. This may play into Mysaria's decision on whether to tell the queen of Helena's child. Later in the episode, when Mysaria learns of this child, Alicent pleads with her to not tell the queen, and she makes a pretty good argument here. Mysaria will gain nothing by telling the queen, but could gain a new ally if she remains silent. If the power dynamics were to ever shift, this may prove useful to the so-called White Worm.
And she had nothing to say. She had nothing to say and just walked out. So you know what that means. She's already a conniving, sneaky type of, you feel me? That's what she do. Ooh, I want some Indian food. I want some Indian food.
Council Rhaenyra once again voices her displeasure with Daemon, who seems to question her at every turn. Now more than ever, she needs an ally. At the same time, Prince Joffrey has arrived back from the Vale. With the death of Jacaerys, Joffrey is next in line to the throne. But just like my own mom, she can't seem to make enough time for him. I'm kidding, Mama. I love you. Please like and subscribe. Meanwhile, Aegon and Loras continue their journey, having also heard the news of Vhagar's sighting in Wendish Town. They've got to be at least twice as far away as Criston and his men. With Larys's clubfoot, it would be weeks by the time they'd even get there. But for Aegon...
Also, if you guys want to watch this without my reaction and my and without my commentary, you could go easily support my guy, freaking Think Story with 823,000 subscribers, 200,000 views. This is his stuff, Think Story. And yes, let's get back into it.
This is a matter of revenge. He believes every one of his miseries is Aemon's fault and swears on the warrior, one of the Seven's aspects, he will kill him or die in the attempt. Aemon intentionally took advantage of the chaos at the Battle of Rook's Rest to try and kill his brother, so I'd be pissed off too. Mysaria's first meeting with Alicent sees Alicent trying to cover for her daughter. She drinks the moon tea in front of Mysaria, claiming she had taken a lover after Viserys' death. something she did indeed tell Rhaenyra.
My husband, my father, my lover, my son.
Yo, this is exactly why you don't take the first offer after a car accident. Insurance companies will hit you with some low offer like...
The incorruptible queen sullies herself with a lover.
She failed to mention, however, this lover was Criston Cole, who Rhaenyra has a history with. Meanwhile, Alicent's brother, Gwaine Hightower, regales Criston with a story on how he and Ormond would race up the High Tower in Old Town. The High Tower is a staggering stepped lighthouse and fortress situated on Battle Island, right where the Honeywine empties into the sea. At its top burns a massive beacon to guide ships into port and is reported to be the tallest structure in all of Westeros, even taller than the ice wall in the north. Gwaine hopes that Criston can one day serve their house there, but what Gwaine doesn't know is that Criston has no intention of doing so. Their regiment falls victim to crow's feet these...
Oh, yeah, that was so... And then the way he just stuck that thing... These people are way different than where we are.
metal spikes, making the passage of horses and caravans next to impossible. If they're going to continue, it will have to be by foot. In this scene with the Daemon and the commander of the City Watch, we'll see the poor being given bread in the background. It's a small detail that visually shows Rhaenyra's emphasis on the poor over the gold cloaks themselves, two of which will be found brutally murdered. Daemon also tells the commander that not every whim of the queen needs to be pursued with equal vigor.
Who do he think he is talking about the queen this way, bro? Like, he doesn't respect her, voice her, nothing. Like, what do we do with this guy at this point, y'all? Can y'all see me? Yeah, y'all can see me.
It's yet another way Daemon undermines the queen when instead he should be propping her up. At Tumbleton, Ormond orders more conscripts in preparation for the battle to come. Notice how he immediately washes his hands after receiving a message from a carrier pigeon. We know how obsessed Ormond is with personal hygiene. The young Prince Daeron, who Ormond wants to prop up as the new Hightower king, has been learning the story of his ancestors, something he calls dry history. He mentions feuds that the Hightowers had with House Greyjoy and House Gardner, both which involved the great King Lymond Hightower, the last independent Hightower king to rule over Old Town. Lymond personally slew King Theon Greyjoy III and enslaved the Ironmen to rebuild and heighten Old Town's defensive walls. Lymond also ended years of war with a neighboring House Gardner by negotiating a double marriage pact. Part of this deal included military protection from House Gardner, the complete control of Old Town, and would pave the way for the Hightowers becoming the wealthiest and most influential vassal house in Westeros. Lymond would have lived anywhere from 8 to 10,000 years before the events of the Dance of Dragons. But the story Ormond really wants to drill into Daeron's head is that of Maria Martell of Dorne, also known as the Yellow Toad. Even though the Hightowers fought against her during Aegon's conquest, it was her ability to stand up and fight against an almost insurmountable foe that parallels their own struggle against Rhaenyra and her dragons.
And that's what I say, because we already know all of this is going to happen just for Brandon's end up on the throne. So, you know, it's a good thing to get yourself lost into because we already know the ending at the end of the day. But all I really want to say is, I just wish they were more in it. I wish they would fight more like they wanted it. Like, these people are in your city with people slaying and opening up guts and leaving tables of your literal guards. You're not paying them. The people are hungry. Go get that shit. Like, you need to go get it. That's all we could do.
Maria used a combination of guerrilla warfare, scorched earth assassins, uprisings, and anti-dragon artillery to eventually wear down the Targaryen army until they withdrew. Perhaps Ormond is taking pointers from a person he calls the only woman to have been gifted with a truly military mind. Maria's story gives Ormond hope in this struggle against the Targaryens, as he states,
"A cunning mind can resist the most savage of beasts."
It's kind of ironic that in front of them looks to be a game of Savas. It's a game in which players try to kill the opposing king. Daeron outsmarts his uncle, stating it was luck, But just when you think Ormond's going to lose his temper, he teaches his nephew to never apologize for victory. Then he shows him these coins. In preparation for his ascension, Ormond has had them made in his image, a sign used by their allies that the true son of Viserys and beacon of Hightower has come. In the God's Wood of the Red Keep, Helena warns her daughter not to touch the poisonous plant known as Nightshade. In a since-deleted 2024 blog post, George R.R. Martin warned showrunner Ryan Condal that his decision not to include Maelor in the events of Blood and Cheese would create, quote, larger and more toxic butterflies to come, referring to how a seemingly small departure from the book can create a massive butterfly effect. The caterpillar eating a toxic plant will literally become a toxic butterfly, and in episode 302 we saw Helena reading a book with a butterfly picture and the word Noth.
Look how in depth. See, this is why he getting all the freaking,
you're not ready for it.
Big bucks, y'all. Well, I don't know his pockets, y'all, but
Noth is the island home to butterflies which carry a deadly plague known as the butterfly fever. Helena refers to this caterpillar nightshade dynamic as a puzzle, a reference to the narrative structure of House of the Dragon. By removing one seemingly small piece of the story, like the toddler Maelor, it scrambles this puzzle, which means the showrunners now have to figure out how to piece together later major events. So this whole little sequence here seems to be a jab at George R.R. Martin. But let me know what you think. Alicent has made plans to escape. She's traded in her Faith of the Seven pendant for help in this mission.
But how do you get kicked out of your own stuff to where they could just do stuff? Like, I don't understand that. Like, how can you own something but they still feel like they could do whatever to it and with it?
The plan is to make their way to Baela's room, who they know won't be around.
Hold on, chat. We gotta damn near make an order. Hello, yes. I wanna. What time do you guys close? Okay, can I make an order for pickup? Yes. Could I get chicken tikka masala with rice, medium? Can you hear me? Yes, okay. I want chicken tikka masala with rice, medium spice. And then, yes, can I get butter naan? And also, what happened? Well, how many does one order come with? No, I want butter naan, just regular butter. Let me get two. And how much is that gonna be? Yes, I'm gonna come pick it up, but how much do I owe you when I get there? What happened? All right, sir. I'm finna come pick it up, okay? All right, thank you. God damn it, guys. No disrespect. I just freaking God damn it, man. I was trying to see how much it was gonna be, man. He just said it. Yeah, man. Just yeah. He said, yeah, man. Just yeah, come pick it up, man. Like you're a jerk, dude. You're a freaking jerk. You're a freaking jerk, man. Well, listen, y'all.
Baela's room once belonged to both Aemond and Rhaenyra and contains that hidden passage Blood and Cheese used to kill Jaehaerys. So it's kind of ironic that the path used to kill one of them will be the same path that saves them. But this
Yep.
plan does not include Jaehaera. It would be too risky if she cried out during their escape. Alicent wants Helena to look at the bigger picture. One day they might be able to get her back, and they know Jaehaera is too valuable for Rhaenyra to kill. But like the Moon Tea, Helena won't do something that will jeopardize her children. In the Trident, Adam of Hull and Baela continue their search for Vhagar, and Adam is all like,
I think it's time we all take a well-deserved break.
Adam is Baela's half-uncle. Yes, apparently that's a thing. Baela thinks Vhagar and Aemond may have fled to the Westerlands, where the mountainous region has all sorts of nooks and crannies even a dragon Vhagar's size could hide. But the real purpose of this scene is to dive into Baela's psyche. This was a woman who was one day to be queen of the Seven Kingdoms, but since her betrothed Jacaerys was killed, that path before her has vanished. Now she fears she'll be married off to some old lord in exchange for gold. To make matters worse, the queen won't even look at her. Last episode, they passed each other in the halls of the castle, and Rhaenyra wouldn't acknowledge her. Baela was complicit in Jacaerys' plan to imprison the queen while they fought at the Gullet, and perhaps every time she looks at Baela, it's a reminder of both that betrayal and the death of her son. Aemond awakens having dreamt of Vhagar. Even he doesn't know where she is. When asked if he is a prisoner here, Alis doesn't respond. There's this beautiful juxtaposition between this scene and the next, where both Aemond and Aegon finally reveal their true feelings. Each brother holds deep-seated resentment toward the other. Aemond worshipped his brother, but at the same time was tormented by him. Alicent also paid more attention to Aegon, not just because he would one day be king or because she loved him more, but because he needed to be watched and managed. Aegon would constantly mess up, make rash decisions, and jeopardize his future, while Aemond was relegated to being the neglected spare. Aemond would seek out this motherly affection in others, like Sylvie the brothel owner, creating in him this weird complex associating motherly love with sexual. And it looks like Alis may be utilizing this to her advantage, as we'll see her take on this motherly figure for Aemond, cradling him like a child. The question then becomes, will this turn romantic? If you've read the book, you know what happens next. Aegon's resentment boils down to his jealousy. Aemond was always the perfect child, the perfect scholar, swordsman, fluent in High Valyrian, and loved more by Alicent. That's the tragedy of this situation. Each brother thinks their mother loved the other more. This is what Larys does, what everyone's been wanting to do since Aegon hit our screens: give him a giant dose of reality. Aegon is shit. He was given every opportunity to thrive, the finest tutors, knights, and a dragon. He could have risen to greatness, but reveled in mediocrity. For the first time, it felt like Larys was telling the unabashed truth, a torrent of what he's been holding back for years, a move uncalculated. At the Grand Sept, Rhaenyra prays. Rhaenyra isn't particularly a religious person, but she says it couldn't hurt, especially if the people see her expressing regard toward the Seven. Daemon, on the other hand, hates the faith, seeing it as a hollow religion of a conquered people. He'll speak in High Valyrian to avoid potential spies eavesdropping on their conversation. Rhaenyra can't understand why people are opposing her when the gods so clearly favor her. That's when Daemon reminds her she is a woman, there will always be those who oppose her. The two agree there's one mind scheming against their rule. We already know Ormond is coordinating with those in King's Landing.
And he's so, like, I don't know why, though. Like, why don't you want to just live where you're at and live in peace, though?
Who knows what other schemes he's hatched to undermine Rhaenyra's rule. Rhaenyra lights a fire under Daemon's ass. How is it that Daemon Targaryen, the bold and cunning subject of 1,000 adulatory songs, has been outdone? How hasn't he found the people responsible for this? Daemon merely smiles here. I think this is the fire he's been wanting to see in her, even if it comes at his expense. He leaves her with the words,
"You are more than this."
A jab at her praying to gods he sees as beneath them. Aegon and Larys have made their way back to Rook's Rest. Aegon has broken to the reality of his situation and tells Larys to hire that ship to Bravos. That's when Tywin Lannister, Aegon's former master of coin, arrives. The last we saw him, he was thrown off Shirako Lohar's ship, the Bitch Fist, during the Battle of the Gullet. In the book, Tywin was never at this battle. Instead, he was captured when Rhaenyra took over King's Landing and tortured so viciously his face became mutilated. So I'm curious to see where his storyline goes from here. With Alicent and Helena ready to fly the coop, Alicent tells Helena that Jaehaera will be meeting them at the other end. But do we believe Alicent here?
No,
Is she
Do y'all
merely
see me
telling
right here,
Helena a
or do y'all
lie
like
to
when I
get
look
her out
right
of the
here?
keep? It turns out to be a moot point
Like
considering
this
they're
at the
stopped
screen.
by Missaria. Earlier we discussed Missaria's dilemma on whether or not she'll tell the queen of Helena's pregnancy, but this scene has two other interesting elements. Helena demands that she sees the moon.
I need to see the moon.
Helena's connection to the moon spans from the lunar symbolism of her silver dragon Dreamfire to her prophetic visions that are deeply tied to esoteric moon magic. There's also a third connection, but that delves too far into spoilers. But if you're interested, simply Google Moon of the Three Kings. Helena has also captured the caterpillar which fed on the poisonous nightshade. Like the caterpillar, Helena herself is imprisoned and was nearly forced to drink poison herself. Kristen and Gwaine continue their hellish journey, stopping to find one of Vagar's claw prints. But with the speed they're going, Vagar could be halfway across Westeros by now. More thieves have come to Harrenhal in search of Aemond. Alice tells them he's not here, and that this is her fortress before she's attacked by the men, one whom calls her a salt wife. Salt wife was the term used by the Ironborn and is usually a bound concubine kidnapped from foreign shores during seafaring raids. Aemond saves Alice from these brigands. Now the two...
And he could, and y'all, and if y'all really know who that is, that's my guy from the Seven Kingdoms, the Last Night of the Seven Kingdoms, or what was it? The Last Kingdom, the Last Kingdom. Lord Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Now that show is how you get it on. That's how you get it. That's how you go get your money. You go get what you want. You go take it over, and you really run it. Lord Uhtred, son of Uhtred, was a man. What?
Have saved each other. The jig is up for Tyland, Larys, and Aegon. The unscrupulous leader of Rook's Rest, a man by the name of Janos, has uncovered their identity. The reward for these men would be massive. He goes into Aegon's bag, seeing his crown, but Aegon goes full-on stabby-stabby with his dragon scale. Meanwhile, Larys is over here like,
You just can't go around killing people.
See?
why?
What do you mean why? 'Cause you can't.
Hello.
Do you want to play with me?
Sure. You want me to help you with your groceries?
Why? Larys and Tyland have differing opinions on what to do with the king in hiding. Tyland wants him sent to Lannisport, protected by sellswords, but Larys sees this as a ploy to make Casterly Rock the seat of the new king. Larys wants to stick to the original plan of traveling to Essos to wait out the war and come back with an army after Rhaenyra and the Hightowers have decimated themselves. Back at King's Landing, Daemon inspires the Gold Cloaks by promising them riches beyond their imagination. He dreams of a world where Rhaenyra conquers all of the known world, returning to King's Landing with wagons of silk and silver. Rhaenyra already told Daemon that isn't what she wants. Her own father warned her that there is such a thing as too much power, and she's having trouble holding onto power as it is. Kristen and Gwaine's march comes to an end when they find the Rivermen have burned their only way forward. They have failed and must find their way to Ormond, but Kristen will not give up. He'll swim, raft, or whatever it takes to stop the Rivermen who outman them 200 to 1. Gwaine knows this is certain death, but as Kristen laid out last episode, he would rather die than let himself be diminished. He will die the realm's greatest warrior, abide by his honor, and die an unbent death, glorious in battle where songs will be sung of his service and glory. Meanwhile, Gwaine's looking over at him like, nope. Alan goes over the plan to rebuild the Driftmark fleet with Rhaenyra. In front of her is a book with the names of all the ships lost during the Battle of the Gullet. Names like Lady Rhaena, Poison Thorn, and Whirlwind. This is when Daemon interrupts to inform the queen that Ormond has propped up Daeron as king, showing her one of Daeron's coins they found by torturing his supporter. In true Daemon fashion, he reminds the queen they should have burned Ormond when they had the chance. At the same time, Helena and Alicent conveniently find a secret exit from their room. We know the Red Keep is filled with dozens of these secret passageways, however it looks as though this one has been blocked. Before the light from their lantern goes out, Alicent tells them the wall behind them has been shut and they can't go back. So we could be dealing with a situation where the queen believes one of her own people aided in their escape, when in fact they're merely trapped within the castle's walls. And for those interested, this does not happen in the book. Well, Kristen blesses his men with a prayer of the seven, which outlines how the various aspects of the faith provide comfort and protection. Daemon encounters a most ghastly sight. Sir Luther Largent, commander of the City Watch,
This shit
and
was
8
so
of his men
crazy.
dead at a dinner table with the words "Feast for Traitors" emblazoned in blood. What makes this even more brazen is that it looks to be done in the barracks of the City Watch itself. This is not the work of one man. This is a team of anti-Rhaenyra insurgents, and a problem much, much larger than even Daemon could have even imagined. But now I turn it over to you. What did you think of this week's episode? I want to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And for
Guys, that shit is crazy. We have to talk about it. We had to get into it because we love the show. We love Game of Thrones. We love House of Dragon. But if you guys once again want to go tap in with that, watch it by yourself, watch any other of this content. His name is Think Story. That was how I felt about it. I felt like it was a good episode. It gave us enough. It tell us where we're heading, and it also would give us something to think about. Because the way that they did and the people at that table, like, come on now, that's not right. But this is One Love, and also I'll be back with another one. And you guys be good. Thank you. That was that. Guys, I gotta go get my food, bro. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to watch the show or or do y'all want me to end?
more bad takes, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStory.
I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna have y'all watch a TV show or something. I'm gonna have y'all watch DDG.
My name is Chris, and right now I'm currently in Hong Kong, but I want to take some time to talk to you about Olafly's Always On benefits. Their Always On benefit allows you to have
Yeah, I'm about to switch. Let me make sure that they ain't changed my interest to some other shit.
No, I don't want y'all to watch that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be back tomorrow, guys, and I love y'all. I am gonna be on TikTok.